Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you joined us today. Today, we're going to be talking about mindset and the role that it plays in business. I'm Lorna Whitaker. I'm the owner of Business Beyond the Shoebox and the creator of the 20-minute CFO online training. No one thing leads to success. While it's clear that having systems and frameworks in place are a critical element, there is no shortage of knowledge and opportunities to learn them. What really differentiates those who succeed from those who stay stuck is really their mind in the matter. This is mindset. It's a powerful conversation and something people are really interested in. With me today is my trusted friend and colleague, Krista Ray Pacheco of the Edelweiss program. Krista is an intuitive and transformational thought leader, and I've invited her here to join me today to answer some of the questions that people are asking. Hi, Krista.
Hi, Lorna. So glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
My real pleasure to have you here. So let's start with a question. How is money connected to our self-worth? And is it?
Absolutely. It's totally connected. It's directly connected. It's all about how we feel about ourselves. And, people who feel entitled to money or success, they have it. And those who don't have it.
In some of the work that we have done together, one of the things that you have said is that, how would you think, behave, et cetera, and I'll let you fill that in, if we believed that money was something that we were, that was good for us?
Okay, so yes, how is money good for us? Money didn't used to be important to me, and it comes in really handy. It allows us to live life fully. It allows us to express ourselves fully, to truly live our purpose. And money is a reflection of our worth and what we put out into the world. So, the effect that we have in the world with our products and services should be a direct reflection of the money that also comes in.
So you think that we behave differently if we have a different mindset in the matter?
Absolutely. Yes.
So,
So yeah, go ahead. Ask.
how is, what we feel about ourselves connected to how much money we have or attract?
So the more it all starts with the feeling of not enough. We all are robbed of feeling like we're more than enough at some point or other in our life. Even those who act as if they were better than, and that comes from that place to have to prove that we are more than enough. And so that pain of not being enough is it really this painful because indeed we are not enough? Or is it painful because there is, we know it, we know our own value, and there's no other evidence, there's no confirmation, no validation of our actual value and worth in the world, possibly. And even the people who know their worth and value, like I look around, they choose and work to create outer evidence of their value. Whatever they choose, whatever they do, whatever their endeavors that they pursue are based on proving their outer value. And it's the really the key, the secret to knowing your value from within yourself is the level of pain that you experience when you feel like you're not enough, is to know that, oh, that is my insight. That is basically the greater the pain, the greater the lie. And you have to know you have value and worth, and you are more than enough. And when you know it, then stop actually pursuing proving your value and your worth on the outside to create outer evidence. You have to start acting from a place of knowing your own value. So, like, if you knew, if it was already an established fact that you are more than enough, if the least likely source would have given you the the proof that you have value, how would you feel differently? How would you feel differently if you truly understood your own value from within yourself? And how would you act, behave, communicate, assert yourself, think, feel, choose, decide differently if knowing that you have more, that you are more than enough is already an established fact? Because you will no longer pursue outer evidence. You would just live your values. You would pursue what your heart is drawn to. You would pursue what your life purpose is, the effect that you create in the world. That would have much greater importance than actually pursuing the proof that you now have outer evidence of your worth and value.
This is so powerful. So sure, it applies to our personal lives, but in business, things get tough. You know, we may work really hard, create a great product, have a great service, and then if we're only measuring for outer evidence, which is people applauding what we're doing, an audience that grows at micro, speed, macro speed, and we're looking for that outer evidence, and we're actually taught growing up to measure our success by outer evidence. And one of the big questions that shows up for people is when you ask them, well, what is your why in this matter? Because what supports them is really that understanding that what they have to offer is really something that is of value. And they have to have the value. They have to understand that it's valuable to them and valuable to others. And that's a really big component of the mindset. It's actually one of the 5 elements of a successful business is knowing your why, which ties back directly into your mind in the matter, what it is that you have to offer. Because if you're only measuring for outer evidence, outside of yourself, then you're going to end up really frustrated. You're going to have a lot of down days. And you need to be able to circle back to this feeling of that I am enough, that I have something of value, that I have self-worth. So absolutely, this is a really powerful piece. And one of the things, and see if I can get you to say it again, is how would you act, behave differently? So would you say that piece again for the audience today?
Yes, I would always ask myself, okay, if I knew that I am more than enough, that what my service or my product has an amazing effect in my own and other people's life, which gives it, that's what gives it value. It's not the effect, it's the effect, it's not the effort that you put in. But like what I would ask myself is, okay, so how would I act, behave, communicate, assert myself differently, think, feel, choose, decide, if it was already an established fact that I have more than enough, that I am more than enough, that I have true value, that I'm equally important, that what my life purpose is, it's an important piece in the whole picture, because if everyone did what they came here to do, everything would be done. And how often do people pursue a career just because it brings them money or success is promised? It's not necessarily their true life's purpose. And so that also goes hand in hand with business success. How can you be successful in something that you are not really meant to do or be?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the questions that comes up all the time, it's a big conversation. So one of the things I would like the audience to know that we have a lot of models that we grew up with. about what was important, what was the measure of success, how to behave, how we're going to attract money. That's kind of a new conversation, is what do we do to attract more money? So Krista, would you weigh in on that? So how do we attract more money? What is at core with that?
Well, it has to do with how you feel about yourself above anything else. How you feel about yourself and how you treat yourself is how you feel is 5,000 times more magnetic than what you think. So you can think, I am worthy, like I have value, I'm good enough, all you want. If you're not feeling it, you're not going to get it. And, it's just you have to be in alignment with how you feel. That's like what you think and how you feel have to be the same. And so for that, you have to make some shifts.
What
And you
can
have,
people do to make that shift? To shift from, we hear all the time, well, have these affirmations, have mantras, those kinds of things. And my experience with them is an affirmation that's not really in alignment, as you said, or really uh, powerful to me personally. I can't seem to shift out of just speaking the words to actually transforming it into something that I feel. What can people do to really help to shift them into that feeling place of, attracting more money?
right. So for one thing, they have to slow down from doing to more being. Because when you want to get in touch with how you feel, you have to be more.
Mhm.
And money is directly connected to how you feel. Like if you feel entitled to have it, you will have it. If you feel unworthy, you won't have it. It's also has to do with your, like upbringing. There's a lot of money, like either benefits or detriments, your
Mhm.
station in life.
Yeah.
When you really dive a little deeper, it really goes back to how you see yourself, generally speaking. Um, who are you in your true nature? Do you measure your success by how much money you have or by how much impact you have in the world?
Mhm.
All of those things. So you have to get in touch with who you really truly are authentically. And that goes beyond being human. So we have to learn to go beyond just being human and really connect with our true nature of our essential being, of our life force, of our brilliance that we all have.
Mhm.
And that's, where our mind lives. That's where our ideas come from. That's where the most amazing connection to your output that you have in the world will come from. And so you have to connect to that.
Absolutely, you do. One of the things that you have said to me over the years, that I thought was really powerful, and it comes back into this belief area. You have to believe. I think you've said you have to believe in that what you're going after is possible.
Mm,
Could
yeah,
you,
yeah,
yeah,
no.
could you talk a little bit more about what that feeling means and how it relates to success?
Okay, so you have to have a vision first. The ideal vision of what you would like, how you would like your life to be, how you would like your business to be, how you would like to be in this world. So you have to start with your ideal vision, not a fantasy vision. It's
Yeah.
the ideal vision of, and then, once you have that vision, it has to look good, it has to sound right, it has to feel exciting. If it doesn't feel exciting, don't do it. Go back to the drawing board, go back to actually creating that ideal vision. And so when you have that ideal vision, then you send it down a little further and you start to actually also ask yourself, is that ideal vision, is it probable, is it possible, is it doable, is it you know is it something that can actually be done? And do we have the resources? Well, we may not have the resources from the beginning. Usually, the beginning of actually bringing our ideal vision into being is that we have to, start. You actually have to take action. That was the missing piece in the Secret movie. It's like they didn't say anything about action. They just said, well, just sit there and imagine, driving the new car or that successful business or that healthy body. And that's, it came across as if that was all you have to do. But you actually have to take the action part.
Yeah.
You have to take action on it. And those action pieces, they have to feel possible. Like if I said now, okay, my ideal vision is to become an astronaut, it's just at this age of mine, where I am right now, with what I have in my background, that is not a possibility. That's not probable. So yeah, it has to feel possible. And, it it's like, don't dream too big. Sometimes people say like, oh yeah, this ideal vision, then times 10. It's like, no, just start with what feels possible. And then, as you go, you can still grow it into something bigger, and it will grow into something bigger,
I will.
until you say like, now it's big enough. And we don't all have to be famous on stage or, super heroes on, like a large, massive scale to make a difference in people's lives and our own. It's you decide how far you want to take it.
Exactly. Exactly. So, it is one of the things that I say to people that success is not an event, it's a result. And people get to define what success looks like for them. And one of the big starting places for people is going to be that mindset conversation that they have. And I love that you said, slow down and take a look at it. What's possible? What's probable? Don't measure yourself and what you would like to achieve based on what someone else's standards are, what someone else told you. It's very frustrating. It undermines your sense of well-being. So we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you, Krista, for your time. I so appreciate it. Folks, if you'd like to learn more about how to have a business that is successful, that does exactly what you need it to be, you want to look at all of the elements, and the mindset element is one of those pieces that I really invite you to look at. My area of expertise is going to be helping you build systems and frameworks that give you success. And Krista's area of expertise is really that place of looking at how you want to transform your life in that more subjective place. So down below in the comments, we're going to give you some connection ways for you to connect with Krista, ways for you to connect with me. And we're really happy to have you here today. Krista, say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you so much for having me here, and thanks for watching.
My real pleasure, everyone. We're signing off. This is Lorna Whitaker from Business Beyond the Shoebox, and thank you very much for your time. Have a great one.